Now, I'm the type of person where I don't like to put my foot on the gas pedal. I don't like to put the car in reverse unless I know where we going. And I feel like with WandaVision as a whole, I've taken this ride and I still have no idea where we going. I still have no idea how they're gonna land this thing. Hey, how's everybody doing? My name is Corey and I'm here today to talk about WandaVision episode 8, the penultimate episode, the last one before we get what is sure to be a fire finale from the new MCU show. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Help me to continue growing. We've been having a great last few months. Continue to keep the channel great. But let's go ahead and break down and talk about what happened in episode 8 of WandaVision. So we start off getting Agnes's background, which was real like Salem witch trial stuff. It was real cool to see. It was cool that we went back that far. So like I thought instantly, let's go right back to the chronological order of the MCU. Like she now predates Captain America as the first person as a part of the MCU story, unless we going like way back to like the Eternals and stuff. So like she's now the first marker on the MCU board, you know, being from 1693 I think it was. Cool to see seeing how ruthless that she is, and you know that ruthlessness just continues as the episode continues. Then we get the basement scene with Agatha and Scarlet Witch, with Wanda, you know, kind of trapped in the basement. And I thought straight to a comic book cover that I'll probably be showing right now. Now this cover has nothing to do, or this comic has nothing to do with the actual episode, but as I flipped through the stack that I had, I thought to myself, this one is just real reminiscent of everything that we seeing here. And you know, Agatha kept up the brutality, you know, she kept up the ruthlessness, you know. It seems like she woke up and chose violence. She got real rough with Wanda right there in the basement, and I was glad to see it. And I was hoping that we would see more rough, you know, a little bit edgier MCU with this show, and I feel like we haven't so far. That was a cool moment, but later on I feel like it gets kind of negated or, you know, brushed under the rug type of deal, but we'll talk about that. Then we get into Wanda's memories, and you know, this is a real heartfelt episode. You get to see the tragedy that is Wanda's life. So you start off with the stuff with the parents and Pietro being young and her being young with the bomb, the Stark Tech bomb that went through the house, and that was jarring to see it just like her life get changed, and you know that switch get flipped in a moment's notice. And you could tell, you know, the mom alluded to war outside, but it just didn't seem like it would touch him at that moment. But it was jarring to see it hit him at that moment, and you get to kind of identify a lot more with Wanda and who Wanda is and what she's going through. The Hydra-based stuff was cool because it kind of shows you a process that she went through getting the powers. Like as fans and not knowing the backstory, we probably imagine all kind of weird tests and different things they did to her, but really it was none of that. She just walked in the room and it was instantaneous. But again, I think that kind of is connected to who she is as a person, and you know, we'll get to that towards the end of the episode. The Avengers facility scene with probably the deepest line that's ever been said in the MCU. There's a lot of good ones out there, but this one to me rivals with great power comes great responsibility, because it's something that, you know, if you've ever experienced any kind of loss in your life, you identify with that line that Vision gives that says, what is love, or what is grief except love persevering? Like that's, like I immediately connected with that line, and it was real cool that it was given at that moment, and it shows you the instant connection that they had. It shows you like the spark that they had. It proves to anybody who doubted, and really I wish that the leader of S.W.O.R.D. could have saw that scene, because it's the idea that he treats Vision as a thing still. But if he saw that scene, he would know, like, no, this is a robot that is alive. I think instantly of Johnny 5. He is alive. There is no bringing him back online. Like, no, he's alive and dead. There is no, it's nobody pulling his strings. Like, he's really and truly a living being with real deep thoughtful insight, man. And it was good to see. So getting to the back end of the episode with the memory of the sword base, that threw me off, because I thought to myself, wait, this was described very differently from the leader of S.W.O.R.D. Like, that guy said she stormed in, and they showed footage of her looking so different and kind of having a different demeanor and vibe about her, but really she was just grieving and she wanted to see him, and it was just handled very differently. And I thought at this point, are we seeing real memories or are we seeing doctored memories? But turns out her version of events is the real thing, which makes things even more confusing moving forward. Now, getting into the final moments of the show with Agatha, I feel like here Marvel decided to pull back on what I was liking about the series for the most part, and it's happened in other episodes as well. You saw when Wanda in episode 7, she found the basement and you have these vines and it's a real ominous, creepy vibe and it's a tense moment, and then they lighten the mood with the Agatha all along stuff. And it's like, you take me to a place where I thought I was gonna get that horror. You know, I think back to episode 3 with Vision with the collapsed, skull, and he's dead. And it's like, you get that and it's like, ooh, that was terrifying, like real quick. And I think to myself, like, okay, we getting the horror stuff, but they keep on peeling it back and like giving you some cartoony looking hocus pocus stuff. What I'm thinking about here at the end of episode 8 is you got Agatha choking the boys, and you have, her roughing up Wanda in the basement, and it's like, okay, we getting to the edginess, we getting brutal. And then the makeup, and it's like, she looks like a witch from Hocus Pocus. Like, really, she really looks like a Hocus Pocus witch. And this is, to me, a trash decision, like a poor choice. It took me out. I was like, man, y'all finna give me Hocus Pocus, a bubbling pot witch. Like, I didn't want that. I wanted, some brutality, some edge, some real fear-inducing stuff. And you didn't give me that. You gave me, it looks like you're gonna give me a Hocus Pocus witch with moments of edge, moments of real terror. And I don't know, I'm kind of mixed on that. Now, I'm the type of person where I don't like to put my foot on the gas pedal. I don't like to put the car in reverse unless I know where we going. And I feel like with WandaVision as a whole, I've taken this ride and I still have no idea where we going. I still have no idea how they're gonna land this thing. Everyone been screaming about Nightmare Online, and I'm like, I don't think he's there, man. I think it's just Agatha. And I feel like Doctor Strange will show up still, but it's gonna be in the slightest way possible, man. Like, I don't know how this situation is gonna be resolved. I do feel like, however the resolution comes about, it's gonna be pain for Wanda. And here's why. You get the White Vision showing up in the post-credit scenes, right? So White Vision shows up and you see him, he's real. We get the reveal that, in the end of the episode, you get the reveal that Wanda just literally created the Vision that is inside the bubble. Like, she just made him inside the bubble. What I believe is there is a two Vision situation. There is the White Vision, who will fight on the side of Agatha and fight against the Scarlet Witch and the Vision that we see. And there's also the Vision that Wanda made. I think that he can exist outside of the Hex, but he cannot exist too far away from her. If you remember at his creation, when she was like, screaming and pushing him out, it was like a yellow light. Now, if you think back to, I want to say it's episode 4 or 5, where he was breaking through the barrier and he broke through, he started to come apart, and that same yellow is what like broke away from him and went back to Wanda. And I think it's the idea that you're too far away from your source to exist. So if he does exist outside of the Hex, he would have to stay on her hip, which is like it was in the comics, and I think about a few that I'll probably roll through right now, just covers. But it's the idea that he has to be near her, he has to be near his source. I think that's what's gonna hold true here. The reason why I think it's gonna be pain for Wanda is because I think that she's gonna have to kill the White Vision. If the Vision that she has, that she created, does not continue to exist, she'll have to, one, kill Vision, the white one, and then also watch the one that she created disintegrate too. So I think that's gonna be pain on top of pain for Wanda, to me. That's just why I see it going. Let me know if you think I'm wrong. There's a lot going on with the show, and I'm gonna continue to trust Marvel, but I don't know, I really have no idea how it's gonna end. Anyway, that's all I have for this here episode. Hope that you enjoyed it. I'll be talking the finale as soon as I can. Subscribe if you haven't already. Enjoy yourself, guard your heart, come back and see your boy for more videos.